I'm so funny. I cry myself out.
Since November, East Valley, right east of Gateway.
Awesome. Thank you guys. All right, nice to meet you guys.
Solutions. We're in Mesa, Arizona. We've been in Fortune Builders since February of 2018. Yeah, July. I brought him in and dragged him and said, good job. Save you some boot camp and real estate school. And all that, so he's now full-fledged real estate agent, and he's a part of the team.
Awesome. All right. So aside from you guys, everybody else pretty much knows each other. We're all fortune builders in the room, except for lovely Mia right there, who's the best agent around, and I let her just keep showing up. She's awesome. She's like, I just want to come every week. I'm like, yes. But other than that, I want to let each one of these guys introduce themselves real quick. Just because you guys are less loud and outgoing. Nick, why don't you start? How long have you been with Fortune Builders?
About 3 years.
And what's your focus
on? My focus is mostly on, addition plays. So we do remodels and addition. We'll do straights and new builds. Keep up, I'm pretty loud.
You're loud.
Gets you awesome. So we'll do cosmetic flips as well, but that's kind of been obviously this is a very competitive market, so we found a niche that, in order to make something work out of nothing, you gotta kind of go big, so.
Yeah, I love it. Stefan, introduce yourself.
My name is Stephen Cotton. I'm a realtor. As I explained, I'm the top 1% of the valley.
Woo! Yeah! All right.
That means you put 100 agents in the room. I'm probably the #1 producer.
Nice.
Maybe one other person.
Well, you're not the best looking though. So.
No. I'm like number in the top 12%, maybe 20%.
I had to throw them.
No, I'm not good looking. Thanks for reminding everybody that can't see me.
No, you're not.
No, you're okay, buddy.
Just
That's
kidding.
the,
No.
and that's the wide angle lens. So
Yeah,
I'm not that pretty.
Zoomed in.
That's your card.
But I've been a fortune builder for 4 months longer than Leo. How long have you been? Like
6 months.
Going on 8 years? Yeah, so I'm 8 years, going on 8 years and 2 months probably. So,
Okay.
So I'm about 8 to 9 years into the flipping industry. And the follow-up question was, what do we look for?
Well, what do you
No,
focus
what's your
on?
focus?
What's your focus?
Oh my goodness, my focus is on making money. My focus is on
Focus on joint ventures.
yeah, my number 1 focus is JVs. If I can't JV, I don't do that. My focus is on, I do cosmetic, I do lipstick on a pig sometimes when it's a 1995 or newer. I do, if the flooring is like kind of like this, why change it? Why do I need to change the cabinets? Why can't I just paint the cabinets? But,
So completely the opposite of what Nick does.
no, well, yeah, we changed.
We did do a JV and we did
have
his model.
Yeah, we've done it.
Are you separate or a team?
No, we're not a team.
No.
Yeah.
We're JVs, this is a JV.
Joint venture.
We've JV
So
together the JV deals we did was, lift the home, I think it's big.
I like it.
35K rehab.
Yeah, well, I think we'll talk about that later, you're talking about yourself.
Okay.
Oh, let's talk about me for a little bit.
All right, so no, that's good. We got it. Stefan, you've been in for like 7 years. We're good.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
talk about me for a second.
Stefan had a couple drinks before he came.
You gonna tell him that?
So Melanie, I will preface, is not a fortune builder, and I wanted to have an outsider opinion and point of view on JV deals. So I really appreciate you coming, especially last minute. I talked to her yesterday. Just kind of threw out everything on the plate and was like, please show up tomorrow. So I really appreciate it. But since you're here, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody what you kind of focus on?
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. I love meeting and networking with people. I am passing around my sign-in sheet. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Yes. She's a
I
wholesaler, so sign up for her to be on her.
sometimes I wholesale, yes. I door knock to help homeowners in pre-foreclosure. First offer to help them any way I can, and then if in the end I can't get them refinanced, a loan, whatever it is they need, then I will wholesale those properties if they don't fit my rental model. My number one primary focus is rental properties. And then I do also offer some hard money lending.
I'm sure you're saying. Not so much.
And how long have you been in real estate?
5 years.
5 years. Okay, awesome.
5 years full time. I did it part-time.
Okay, so 2 5 running. That's just a thing that we do, by the way. 2 5.
Oh, yeah.
And then Greg, some of you might know, but if not, introduce
Yes.
yourself.
Hey.
Tell us what you do.
Greg Evans.
You can read it out loud, it's not you, it's.
She introduced you as Greg, it's Greg.
Oh, sorry. I'm lazy.
Come on, Marie.
If your name is Michael, that's automatically Mike with me. I'm sorry. Like, Anthony is Tony. Like, I'm lazy. Okay, Gregory, sorry.
So, I've been in Fortune Village for over 5 years now. I'm from Pennsylvania originally. I live in the West Valley here, near Tolleson. I was out here a couple years ago. Steph and I actually debuted on a few deals, made some money together. Focuses on primarily cosmetic rehabs, but we found ourselves back in Pennsylvania acquiring rentals. We also have down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, an Airbnb condo. And my partner, Leslie, can't be here, but we also JV out of state with other fortune builders. And I'll get into that later with the contract that we use for JVs. And I'm missing something.
No.
So Pennsylvania, yeah. So we have about 20 rentals back in Pennsylvania, and growing. We just built another one today, actually.
Yeah. So you do a mixture of flips, fix and flips, and rentals.
Yeah,
Building whole portfolios.
yeah. Very, very rare at wholesale because I don't find the margins. You know, a lot of wholesalers give you fluff numbers, and they don't give you construction costs, and so.
Well, they don't give you net proceeds, I mean, they tell you it's worth $250, but.
Hey, you can buy it for $200, it's worth $250.
Yeah.
It's HGTV, you know that.
Right. And it costs nothing to rehab it.
But,
So there's your-
I want to say one thing about Gregory, he's really good at the second position for the covenant lender or JV agreement, or however you do it, like, somebody gets the first name position, you're there to help supplement what they're doing nationwide.
Yeah, I've done that before in a JV status, and I'll go over that. Yeah, I'll go over that more with how we've created an agreement that is kind of, I wouldn't say bulletproof, but we're comfortable with and confident, and we've used it multiple times.
Cool.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Awesome. So 2 questions. So I probably have some questions, but feel free, anyone in the room, to just ask a question at any time, because it's not just me interviewing them, it's whatever you guys want to know about joint ventures. I did want to just cover one thing though before we jump into the conversation, because I feel like one big thing is people will say joint venture, and it's a big term. And I think, Fortune Builders really talks about JV agreements on either a particular property or a business joint venture together where you have an agreement to work as a team. And then there's private money lenders that come in and do like the gap funding and the second position loan. So just so we're all on the same page as far as lingo for the night, if it's a joint venture that you've done as a business partnership or for a particular deal, let's call it a joint venture. But if it's where it's been a private money loan opportunity, let's call it a private money loan, you know, a private money lender. And we can talk about both, that's fine. I just feel like for clarity's sake, it's just easier to kind of differentiate the two because,
Right.
you know, it's not necessarily a joint venture when they're just coming in and giving you a second position loan and really not doing anything.
Right.
Or,
Let me jump in on that because that's what we've done. Like Stephen mentioned, you know, we've come in the second lien position. However, we used a JV agreement and we took second lien position.
okay, so why did you,
No.
let me ask you this, so why did you use a joint venture agreement rather than just a promissory note and a deed?
Because we took an equity position instead of just like a 12% interest rate. So we want to make sure that we had some control, some say, some kind of input on the deal. Because we do have experience, we have over 5 years experience doing this. So when we're JVing with these people from a distance, it's one more extra document in place. And can I just jump right into my document?
Yeah,
Is this okay?
sure, perfect.
Because if you have...
Let's do it.
What was the interest?
Which one?
Yeah, I was gonna ask
So
you details.
usually when we JV in an equity position, it's 50-50. So
Most JVs are 50-50. You find the property, you find the money. So if you find the property, you have a hard money lender in place, great, you need a hard money lender in place, we do that, but it's 50-50. We both make 17K, we both make 17K.
So then you don't charge any interest on the gap fund?
Right, no.
Are you only providing gap funding, I guess is what he's asking, or are you providing the funding for the entire neighborhood?
I've done both. So for example, this one down in North
First,
Carolina.
second, and construction?
Yes. All right. For example, the first time we did this was down in North Carolina, and they needed approximately $85,000. Okay, that was for purchase and rehab. Okay, the ARV was like 135 or something like that. I forget the exact numbers, but both of us profited about 20K each. And they were in a position where this is the third one they had wrapped up, so they were willing to give up half the deal instead of having no deal. So it makes sense. It happens a lot of times with first timers, right? You're willing to give up a lot more in the beginning to get the experience and to have no concern about making those interest payments monthly. Because those hard money payments, I know our first deal, we lost our shirts. And we went through the Fortune Builders way of doing things, and we were just like, we were still having those HGTV blinders on, right? Oh, I'm gonna over-improve it, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, we're gonna push the comps, and we fell flat on our faces. That was five and a half years ago. So, I mean, we made those mistakes, and that's why we can have a joint venture agreement in place on top of, because you'll see in here,
okay, so yeah, just so you know, out of all the joint ventures, it's the one with the
Now go ahead and do
lowercase,
that.
mention GR property.
upper and lowercase joint venture agreement, because some of them are all capped. It's the very short, it's just 3 pages. So that's the one Gregory's going to
A
go
lot of
over.
lines, a lot of blank lines in this one.
Your name's on the back.
So,
And Gregory's name is definitely on there.
oh yeah, last page, my name's on it.
Yeah, on the second page, if you see Gregory Evans, that's the right joint venture agreement.
There we go, that's what it is. So, right?
They call you Greg sometimes.
They call me Greg.
Sorry, it's just me, and I call you Steven instead of Stephen.
Oh,
I just do it behind your back.
Moving on, Gregory and Stephen.
All right. Oh man, I think everybody needs to join this room. It's just them, right? Okay, so
I know it's not tangent, I'm gonna come back to that. I missed the answer, I wanna come back to it, but I wanna jump down to this because you mentioned why the joint venture agreement when you're lending money, right? So it gives you an extra say, right? It gives you, if something goes awry, if something's not going as expected, they sign up, you have input. And how do you know you have input? You outline the roles and responsibilities within this. It's not just like, I get 50% profit. It's like, I am lending this amount. We are doing 2 disbursements of one of this amount, one of that amount. What happens if we go over our project? Well, it's in here. Who provides it? Do I provide it or do you provide it? Already split it halfway. Go ahead.
bless you.
Are you good?
I'll
We're on track?
follow you.
Okay.
I do have questions, so keep going.
Okay. So,
Yeah, so just walk us through the contract real quick from the beginning, why don't you?
all right, from the beginning, so we started off, it mentions both entities, right? So the blank to another entity, for privacy reasons, I didn't the company's names, the percentage of profit for each, and the equity stake in both, for both companies. And then it goes into immediately how much is being lent, how much is going to the purchase price, how much is going to the renovations. Then it specifically states how much the loan is for, and to who is the closing title is, right? Who will be receiving the wire. Alright? And it outlines that. It says first wire will be sent to closing amount. To who and what the date will be. Okay? So it's pretty specific, right? But we're not, the difference between this JV agreement, which we made specifically because we've used other ones in the past that have got, remember we used one, I was so worried that we couldn't figure out who did what in it, right? And all this, where to, where at,
Page 5, paragraph 3.
yeah, well, we looked at that,
You guys have a sample of that too, I think.
when we outlined the boom, right to the point of everything. And so, first wire, and then I X here, this is the promissory now, outlining the terms of the loan. So we have additional protections, being out of state, right? Like I can't just drive down to North Carolina and say, hey, we're gonna duke it out on the front porch steps. No, we have
So in addition to this joint venture agreement, you also do the promissory note?
exactly.
Okay.
And then if we go further, we just after that mentioned the second wire. So this particular deal was two wires. It was one beginning for the purchase and the start of construction, and then the second one for the finish it off. Okay. And we were comfortable doing that because we knew we had a promissory note in place, not just an agreement.
And then, well, Greg, the promissory note, would you say is the initial JV agreement, hey, I need 75K to make this deal work. I need 60K to purchase, 50K for rehab. So you throw a 75K promissory note onto the property.
Right, and that's so we can lean it. So we do put a lien on that as well. So that's the purpose of the promissory note, so we can lean it. And it says ER property group down here. You jump down to the last set of words. ER property LLC is placed mortgage holder lien second lien place position. Okay.
So are you acting as the person funding the property in a joint venture with the money lender, or is this for the money lender?
He is the lender.
So I am the lender, I am the JV partner. I'm the funding apparatus, but instead of getting paid a percentage, like a bank would, or our landlord would, we're taking an equity position. Does that make sense?
So then the promissory note doesn't call out a percentage for you to get back, it's just your initial money back, and
Right.
then the equity
Yes.
stake in its.
The promissory note can't get released without permission. So if the house sells for 220, he's got a promissory note in that example I gave earlier, 75K. He says, wait a minute, they're trying to pick up my 75K promissory note. What's the offer? If things go shady, like the offer is 250, well then we've agreed I get 50% of that 25K, so I get 12K plus the initial promissory note.
It's agreed for whatever the sell amount of the house, doesn't matter if it's
Net proceeds, yeah.
no matter what, at the end of everything.
Right, I would refer back to the JV agreement, which is all outlined in more detail.
Yeah, the promissory note allows him to have a secondary position, like he can't, is it recorded?
Yes.
Yes, recorded,
The second investor can't sell the property without him getting paid his initial investment. And that opens up a discussion to say.
So actually, are you listed as a secondary as well?
Well, and this one it is secondary.
I haven't made it here yet.
So in this it mentions secondary, did it mention secondary position? This is for, this isn't for the, this is, I've done so many of them, I'm actually mixing them up.
You're fine.
Because the North Carolina one, we're first position and the only lender. Okay, this one here was in the North Carolina deal.
Yeah.
Second position, the bottom line.
Yeah, so this was for one in Texas, specifically, I remember leading the lines. But, so, we have a joint venture in place, right, we have the agreement in place, we have a promissory note, then we have the lien, which is a mortgage, in this case. And then if you jump to the page, top of the second page, you'll see managing member of the company we're lending to, or joint venturing with, signs personal guarantees. So the members in the company will also have a personal guarantee, so we have protections in place. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
I'd say, yeah, I'm one of the 4 people that does things all the time. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Does it make sense to everybody else?
Hey, Steven.
yeah.
on Saturday. I only get one
I
in.
haven't done
Yeah,
canvas.
Alright,
Okay,
so-
so in this case though, so let's just jump back a
That's what I'm
second
saying.
and
It
say.
makes sense to us, we're.
No, right, well, that's why, let's jump back, so what's your question?
Yeah, any questions so far?
I'm going to ask the same question again.
Yes.
Who are you in the second position? As what?
In this contract,
Yes,
there's only one position. It's me.
okay, so,
But if we do a second release, it will be recorded, so is it technically second? Yes, but we are the only mortgage E on it.
so
So-
the last,
so basically
the
he's-
last paragraph,
so-
that wasn't necessarily the line there, it will stay dependent?
Yeah, so I'm gonna answer the question with, it depends on, like, Nick and I were talking about our JV agreements are pretty much a handshake agreements. But if it's somebody you don't know, protect the hell out of yourself. Record it, be second lead position, have a promissory note, do all three of those. Have a trifecta. Let there be no confusion. I lend this guy $75K on this property. I get $75K back, plus whatever the net proceeds are, half of that. So there's no confusion.
Can I share a way, maybe more applicable to this market, I'm not sure. Is Texas deed state as well?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So how I do joint venture here, this is how I've done in the past, if you're using a private lender scenario, is I've actually done a deed of trust, which is recorded in second position, which is for the amount of the loan, and then I do a promissory note, which specifies the percentage of, so if it's a 70, 30, 50, 50, whatever it is, that's specifying that percentage for that lender. So a deed of trust actually gets recorded on the property in second position, so they do have, a way to foreclose on the property if somehow, and then you have a promissory note that's gonna specify the terms of the loan, so that's kind of how I've done it. Which is very similar, you're just using a joint venture agreement versus a deed of trust and a promissory note. So that's how I've done it here.
Okay. Yeah, we've done deeds of trust. We've done Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. So I can't remember which was a deed of trust and which was not.
Yeah.
But we use the title company or attorney, whichever the state does, and we make sure everything goes through that person.
Right.
So whichever way it ends up, it's all kind of the same.
Yeah, very similar, that's a joint venture versus a deed of trust.
So, Nick, you've done a lot of deals with, private money lenders
Correct.
in second lien position,
Yep.
right? Just a straight up private money lender where you're just giving them a percentage on their money, not necessarily an equity stake in the property, right?
Yeah, sometimes I'll structure it obviously like a normal private lender, so you'll do 12%, and then in this instance, sometimes you do an equity position, which you're gonna structure it more, like how, Gregory has it, which is like a joint venture or a deed of trust.
Do you see pros and cons of one versus the other?
Not really, it's the same for me, obviously, it depends on
The
the,
relationship?
yeah,
I'll answer that question. It all depends on the deal.
and the deal too. But how I structure it is I'll do a hard money loan for the first position, and then also the rehab loan. And then I'll use the second position as a gap funding. So it covers the whole project as opposed to having to come in with any money. So
The short answer is, private money lenders, you have to pay less.
So Nick, you also win the secondary position at 12%, you said?
12%, yeah.
I just want to make sure I got that right.
Good question.
Yeah, what's your question?
Question, let's go on the timeline. Do you agree on 6 months, 3 months, depending on what the job is?
Yes.
At a certain percentage, and if it goes longer, does that percentage change or does it stay the same?
So you'll see in this one, right? It was supposed to be a 6-month deal. So we wrote into it, and it's if you actually skip down to where it's underlined here, says duties of the partners of the joint venture. It says somewhere in there. Where is it?
6-month timeline?
Yeah,
It's on the- yeah.
it's the first paragraph.
Figure out, right? So the last line there, the other party agrees to pay interest thereafter unless otherwise agreed upon by both parties. So what that does is we're paying, we typically use a line of credit that we have, right? And so we're paying interest on that line of credit. And then so after 6 months, it's up to them to pay that interest. So it gives them a little pressure to get the job done on time or ahead of time, but they get 6 months buffer, whether it's supposed to be a 4-month deal or a after 6 months, it's on you unless we agree otherwise, and then we'll put it in writing and like an addendum.
You can charge points, you can charge a higher interest. After 6 points, it's 2 points. It might be 2 points more, 3 points more. Plus a higher interest, 2 points more. No higher interest, whatever. But am I confusing you guys by saying 2 points?
No.
No,
Okay,
it's
so-
fine. Yeah, what was your question, Greg?
Okay, so.
Points is holding.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was like-
It's 1% of finance cost for 1 point.
Austin,
I find a deal, and you.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I kind of like what you have to say, let's look at the joint venture deal. Now, I'm getting a loan from you, so it'll be just the same, where I'm asking for the loan, and you get a promissory note, and then there's 12% interest on the loan, and after that. So when I sign a joint venture with you, in addition to splitting the 50/50, does that negate the 12% because now you're a partner?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's kind of better, and then you just partner,
Is it carry?
there's stuff, yeah, carry.
So carry, but I'm gonna use apples to apples. Let's say you have a house for 200, that'll sell for 300 after a 35K rehab. Okay, so you need 20% of that 200, which is 40K, plus 35K for the rehab, so you need 75K. So I would present about 80K or 85K for JV agreement because there's holding costs associated. We can use my hard money lender or your hard money lender, whoever you have. We compare rates. Are you at 10%? Are you at 12%? Okay, let's use my guy, 10%. So I will produce 85K to split the deal 50/50. So now I'm in for 85K of this deal, right? So that after everybody's 300K, I've already committed the net is about 245K. We're doing the math together. That's with the holding costs, right? 245K. After we sell it for 300K, 7%, that's 21K. And that's the traditional closing cost, right? So we use 21K, so we're at, it's on live, so you can record this, I go fast. I'm almost got 279K, we're for 245K, so we make 34K, we won't make 17K apiece. But I supplied the 85K, makes 17K. You found the deal, so you made 17K.
right, and so Carrie came to the table with no money, really?
No money at all.
Just the deal.
Just the deal, just the deal.
I said, I might even supply my
And,
money.
okay, so that's another question that I want to bring up. In your JV agreements, how do you determine roles and responsibilities? Because it's not just about who's bringing money to the table, it's about who's managing the project.
If you've done
Whose
zero deals,
money
I will handle the deal. Like, look, I'll handle the deal. You're welcome to go to the work site, meet my subcontractors, meet my carpet guy, meet my tile guy, meet my cabinet guy, meet him. You're welcome to because you found the house. But I'm not gonna spend 5%, 20%, 10% more just because you don't have the same people I have. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a 35K we have for me, and it's a 50K we have for you because you wanted more people for the cabinets, or you're going somewhere else.
You just putting it in, but the person that's actually gonna, originally, if you sell the property or whatever, it's gonna be for cheaper because they have the resources.
Yeah, that's, in this scenario, Carrie, I own this house for 200. You come to me, it's ARV is 300. Look, Carrie, I got this under control. Let's just split the profits 50/50. Meet my people. You're welcome to use them anytime. But I don't want, unless your people can be my people, then I don't
Are
even
you
want them
definitely a
on.
mastery student?
What's that?
I just wonder, because right now this is, I love
Am I
this
mastery?
and stuff, but I'm a total mastery fortune builders, and I really want to work within the community, and if I know that, like you said, they've been to the same training, the same mentors.
Every single person in this room is in mastery, except Melanie and Mia behind you.
Okay.
So meet everybody in the room, we're all mastery students. We're all here working together, Carrie.
Listen,
That you've been trained like I have.
yeah,
I
right.
have not a lot of experience.
Okay.
I don't know what you've taken for training. I know what I've done for training. I've done about 25 flips through Fortune Builders. Okay? Okay? I don't know how many times I've shaken Van's hand and taken a photo. I don't know how many times I've done that. He's about 2 inches taller than me, right?
Stretch because he's so tall.
It's amazing, like, I go in that group, I'm 6'2", but it's amazing I get in that group, and I'm always the shortest investor there. I'm like, how did this happen? You know, like, I've been to barbecues, I've met his wife, I've met his kids.
Stop. I love you,
I'll
stop.
share another
Okay.
opinion on what they're
I
doing.
want, yes, Melanie, please, give us another
It must
on
be a
joint
fortune
ventures.
builders to do partner, like my contract is, I partner with another person and we lend our money to an investor. So
Okay.
it's,
Okay.
so two of you.
So you incurred the first note. So let's use that same number. Let's say the house is worth 300.
No, don't go over the numbers.
Hold-
Go over
hold-
the
No, no,
deal,
no,
the exact, no, the
But-
details of the deal, because the numbers doesn't,
No, I want to know what,
Doesn't
I want to know what her investment is.
right, but
So
I.
she's there for 300 and the purchase price is 200. What is your program work if it's a $30,000 unit? How does that work? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what she
So,
said.
yeah,
I think that's what
yeah.
he said. Let her say it.
So, Kevin's gonna leave in a minute. So, go over this deal that you presented. So everyone, just so you know, one of the other contracts that you have in here, it's,
Still see through.
yeah, it says secured, I copied it, I covered it. But anyway, the one that says secured note on the top of it, this is an example of a project that Melanie worked on.
So I employ LLC in this project. I partnered with somebody else's, Maria's, self-directed IRA.
Okay.
And we both put in $15,000 and we split whatever the profit was going to be. We actually set an interest rate, so it was more of a low.
Private money loan,
Yes,
right.
but our side together was a joint venture.
Right. So that's kind of interesting because you came together to loan money on a deal to another investor. So there was really three parties involved in the project. And how did you find that investor, or how did this deal come about? Because it's kind of interesting that the two of you pulled money together to then be a private money lender.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm part of another community like you guys.
Right. It's not Fortune
That
Builders.
is not Fortune Builders.
You can plug them real quick if you want.
It's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. You get like 20 viewers
Right.
right now live.
I love Fortune
Okay. You should see if there's any questions on that Facebook feed.
There's tons that just haven't been able to answer them because you have
Okay.
a tripod.
That's right.
I hear that there's a question, a live question.
Live question.
Well, thank you. So I'm listening to all the different creative funding, and when you keep talking about a personal guarantee, what specific criteria are you looking for? Because on a personal guarantee, you go to a traditional lender, that's something completely different than what you're suggesting. So if you're saying a handshake, or if you're saying, I need to get a certain percentage back, what do you mean? That's a very loose term. You're all using it interchangeably, but what is it? What are you looking for?
I think Gregory said personal guarantee.
Wait, we'll go over Melanie's real quick, just because it's the document that we were just talking about. So if you have the secured note in front of you, literally turn it to that. The last page says personal guarantee.
So that's one thing, but I don't think that's what you were talking about, because I'm in banking, so that makes something that's very different.
It's on the same line.
She's asking you specifically, right?
It's on the same line, it's just a different document probably. But it's, I personally guarantee to produce the funds at the end of the deal. Right, so like to pay back what I'm borrowing. So it's essentially the same thing, it's just a shorter, more concise form. Yeah, this is actually a very good example of like the stuff I have said in here, she actually has in her packet. So you have the personal guarantee, and I'll just have it notarized, I have everything notarized as possible. It's one more set of protection, and you probably agree with that being a bank,
I do.
right? So,
And I think the key thing, Cam, is in his case, he's coming on, he's giving the money, he's not getting a percentage, so
It's
he's not
equity.
being
Right,
he's
it's
not doing
equity.
the amount, he's doing the equity. So then he's making the investor who he's loaning the money to give him a personal guarantee that he will get his initial investment, I assume.
as if
Back,
I was a
no
bank.
matter what.
So are you
But
having
not
them fill out
plus
an
profit or
application?
anything like that, is it just your initial
I was
investment?
putting on application.
So when you say personal guarantee to me,
It's this one.
I'm thinking, and you're saying that you're taking an equity position, and you're recording the lien, right? And the promissory note. At that point, that says to me that there's some type of criteria that you are using other than just the deal. So when you're talking about a personal guarantee, that's what I'm asking.
Can I answer that?
Sure.
So a personal guarantee in these scenarios means that you're not only allowing your entity to guarantee, you're two guarantees, an entity and your personal. So that means that all your assets, everything is liable for
I
them.
think her question here is that
But
personal guaranteed stated or implied?
Right.
Correct.
Right, I think, and she tried to remove the deal from the equation. The deal is the deal. Like, without the deal, there is no personal guarantee. Without the deal, there is no guarantee at all. So the deal has to make sense for us to get to that far, to the paperwork where it says, you guarantee it will make this amount of money. Because we look at the numbers, you look at the numbers. Nobody goes into a JV agreement just saying, hey, I trust you, here's a check for $85,000 for this deal. You know, the deal has to make sense.
Okay, so let's back up one minute. In your opinion, you've been in Fortune Builders for a while, you've all been in Fortune Builders or investing for a while. What made you do your first joint venture deal? What was appealing to you about joint ventures?
Joint ventures allows you to access properties that you don't have control over. So what you're looking for is an opportunity, right? We're all looking for an opportunity to make money. If you don't have the deal yourself, maybe you have the money. Maybe you have the contractors. Or maybe you have the property, but you don't have the contractors or the money. So you're connecting with other people, and that's what's nice about the Fortune Builders community, as Carrie mentioned, that we all have the same training.
Right.
We all know about the 6 critical documents, which we actually have in this, it refers to it in there. And so we have the same expectations, but don't be a fool. Still vet your potential partners, right? Because we've all seen stories, in the group of people burning somebody. So do your due diligence on the person, but there's that comfort. So when you so what was the question again? I'm sorry. Why did you first JV?
Why did you first JV? Because, I just, we're going really deep down the rabbit hole right now, getting into the intricate, complicatedness, and it is complicated. And honestly, if I was sitting there right now listening to this, I'd be like, why the fuck would I ever join anyone? Like, it's just craziness going on right now. So that's what I'm saying, it's just going like,
I think the answer to that question is what you just asked was that there may be something that I have that you don't have, that when we marry it together, we have something.
Okay, and then, but what makes it so,
Talk about your first JV.
yeah, talk about your first JV. Why did you do it and what was key? Like,
So my first
did you
JV
trust
was
that
with-
person? Was it another fortune builder? Like,
It
why
was
did
another
you say
fortune
I want to
builder.
do this?
I was recommended by my coach when I first started, and it was with another student, and that person had private money that they wanted to lend. And so we structured it in a way similar to theirs, where I used a deed of trust and a promissory note to structure it, and then we shared a percentage of the profits.
Okay.
So at that time, I had a deal, they had money, and we married those two together, and then it worked. So, and I think that's what happens with JVs is that, just like Gregory was saying, is that there's certain aspects of a deal that, I may have or you may have that when you come together, then you have something special.
I agree. What's your question?
Question for Steve, you said you supply.
It's not Steve.
It's Stefan. It's Stefan. I just wanted to call that as well.
All people beer. Every time somebody calls it.
If you supply contractors under your deals that you want equity, have equity, how are you structured? Do you also have contractors that you would bring in if you're involved in equity?
I don't. In my position, I'm usually providing funds of some way, shape, or form. So whether it's my personal funds, my line of credit, or access to my private lenders.
So
Gregory mentioned 5 different states that he's been so far in. He doesn't have contractors in all 5 states. He has contractors in probably Pennsylvania.
Right, I still struggle with those.
Yeah, right.
Is that something that you feel is a bit of a handicap here in Arizona?
We talk about here. Are you looking for a deal here?
That's what I'm
That's
asking.
what you're asking. So, what would you, what are you
Part
looking
of that
for?
question was, do you guys go out and look at the deals before you agree to go?
I do. I mean, like, I haven't gone across the state yet, although I have a deal with in Texas right now that I'm trying to figure out, so I threw it out to the Facebook community. But I don't have, like, if it's here, I got people, right? I got a system. I've been here for 8 years flipping houses.
So yeah, I think Stefan would be boots on the ground. He definitely would want to walk a property with you before he JVs with you, no doubt. And I think Nick would be the same way. Melanie would probably even be the same way. She'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go look at that property and look it up on the MLS and do my research.
Nick would get on the roof for no reason.
Nick would get a roof, but
Yeah,
what is
videos of me on the
your
roof.
strategy for out of state? Do you act, like, what do you look at the deal, as far as the deal analyzer or what Fortune Builders shows you? What do you look at to make sure that you want to invest in somebody that's completely out of town and giving them your money?
Question. What's your second opinion? I mean, because they tell you the area, how do you find the second opinion?
Right, so I actually go on realtor.com and pull up the sold listings and minimum comps that way.
Okay.
Verify that it's a potential deal. I've turned around deals recently, turned down deals recently because they didn't make me feel warm and cozy after pulling up some comps, and I've been told where, like, you know, they've been it's not in the area, but what I'm pulling isn't proving it. So I had to say thanks but no thanks.
Right.
So I just don't lend to anybody, right? And it has to be a large enough spread where it's like, if this deal goes awry, well, we can at least break even or make a little something.
Right.
So that spread has to be big enough. It has
Do you
to
have a
be
minimum number that you look for? Like a certain percentage of return on your money?
I don't look at a percentage, I look at the actual dollar amount.
Okay.
So it depends on how much we lend. You know, if we lend, like, sometimes we have about $100,000 of lend, right? So something like that. The North Carolina deal, right? For example, we lent 85 with the potential of 20,000. I think we ended up making 18,000 each instead of 20,000 each. I'm fine with that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I will say one more thing about Gregory, and I don't want to hone on Gregory because this is like we're harping on money stuff. But I think most people are looking for money. I don't know. What is everybody looking for? How about we do that? What is everybody looking for?
Who's got a deal?
Who has a deal? Right? Who's got a deal? What are you looking for? Are you looking for money? Are you looking for contractors? What would you look for in a joint venture agreement right now?
Which is something I was actually talking to somebody about. I've been thinking, what I'd like is what you have to offer in bringing in the funds, because I am willing to do this type of joint venture. You bring in the funds, I have the lead.
Yep.
If an example, you, Stefan, know contractors and you have all your team. However, Gregory may not, so I would have to look for the contractors and his teams and all that if I'm doing a joint venture this way with you, right? Am I right?
Right, yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for.
So are you looking for doing something with Gregory where he has the money but you have to find the contractors? Or are you looking for someone more like Stefan right now that can help you because
Or
they know?
even Nick. And the answer to all that is yes.
Yeah, oh, all of it, all of it up. She's just like, I just want to find it's gonna have somebody do something.
All of it.
Listen,
She wants
we
to
don't
know
need Brad. Greedy, right?
No, I am flexible. I'm learning, but call me Gumby.
Struggles or needs or challenges because
Finding something with a big enough spread.
okay, so finding a deal, finding money. What are your issues right now?
Contractors, I need
Contractors.
yeah.
What are your issues?
Deals, I'm just afraid to get more than one at a time.
Okay, so managing more than one deal at a time, which joint ventures might be perfect for you, right? Because you can spread out those roles and responsibilities, which I don't think we talked about.
Yeah. Especially, I think that's a good roll into my question.
Do you have a question?
Not a statement, more of a statement, but.
Okay, well then I start talking to Bill, so it feels awkward.
Oh, you want to talk to Bill? Talk to Bill.
Bill, like you got 4 deals, JV 3 of them, right? Until you close one, then take another one for yourself.
Yeah.
The end. Okay, next.
Okay, next turn. Next turn, hold on.
Okay, so I just wanted to define the difference between, because you mentioned it in the beginning, private lender versus a JV partner. So private lender would be, I find the deal, I do it all, I do the contract, I do everything, I come to you, you give me money, you're in second lien position, you get 12%. A JV partner would be maybe you bring the deal, I bring the expertise, I bring the contractor, I bring everything. You learn along the way, and we do that at a 70-30 split. So that's how we do it, because we're going to take more time into training, giving you the experience that we have. We're gonna give you our contacts, you're gonna meet the people that we do our rehabs with, and that's obviously worth something, so we're gonna take a bigger spread in that sense, but you're gonna learn something from it. So that's the difference between, for me at least, private lender versus a JV partner, and that's someone that, anybody can bring a deal to the table, right? And that's how we operate our joint venture.
And who gets the 30?
You.
So then I think that that's an important thing to bring up, and Carrie, I'll let you ask your question right after, but, I just want to make sure that in your contract, whichever version of the contract that you end up using, you're thinking about not only what is the percentage of money split, but those specific roles and responsibilities, like who's bringing what to the table, and kind of spell that out. If it's not just like a great relationship like Nick and Stefan can do a handshake deal because they know already what each is going to bring to the table. But if you're meeting someone here for the first time, right, and Carlos is like, yes, Marie, let's JV, let's do a 50-50 split, handshake, we're good to go. No, what is your role gonna be? Are you bringing in the hard money lender? Whose name is on the contract? Who's giving the personal guarantees? Who has the contractors? Who's managing the contractors and subcontractors and so on and so forth, right? So I think roles and responsibilities are a big thing, especially in a flip, right?
I also want to add, and I think Nick will agree, that 70-30 split, 50-50 split, all the income that the property produces is split. So he's a broker, I'm an agent, so we make $12K on the sale of the property. That $12K that we took in is split as well. So it's not so much, right? So it's not so much,
So the agent fees or whatever, you kind of
part of it.
If we buy it at something less and there's a commission,
you would split that.
We split on the buy, but we split on the sell.
Yeah, and that would be a good thing though to kind of put straight out in black and white, right? What is that? And that will be split.
And just to clarify.
You've answered most of it.
Okay.
I guess my question is I've made offers, I've not closed on any deals, because the numbers have to make sense, okay? And it's fair market here. So I go back and forth between flipping and wholesaling. So most of them, I would like to find the deal and wholesale it, okay?
All day long.
And all day long, and have a 30-day close for that. If it's like $1 million property or a $500,000 property and I stand to make about $200,000, I would go to joint venture. But it sounds like instead of wholesaling, maybe a joint, if I'm a wholesaler, joint venture might be to my advantage, where I'm bringing in everything. I'm new to this, it's only been a year. I'm submitting offers. If they accept them, they accept them. If they don't, they don't. So it's been very hard, to be honest. I've had all this training, all the boot camps, and I'm on, basically, I like to learn. I will follow a system. And the reason why I paid the money for fortune builders is I recognize their system. So I'm willing to spread out and learn, but I am the fortune builder system. So I'm trying to make all this work because I haven't been trained on joint ventures.
No, that's why we're here.
So I'm gonna separate it really quick. What's great about wholesale deals is you make 5K, 10K, 15K, sometimes 30K. You get crazy, and the numbers work. But 5K, 10K, you make it. You don't have to wait 4 months to get paid that 10K, or to find out if you actually made 10K. That's the biggest. Let's talk about that. Those that have flipped the house, are we making money? Sometimes I call it a very expensive savings plan, because I have 7 deals. I have 7 properties, right? So $22,000 a month. So sometimes that was a savings plan. Sometimes I made money, right? So you get your money back, you get all your money back, maybe $3,000, and that's a very expensive savings plan. It cost me $5,000 a month to find out that this house was what it was worth.
Right.
Or you can wholesale the deal, and you make 5K quick, make 10K quick, and you don't have to worry about it. You can go to the next deal. What's best about wholesale deals, and this isn't what this conversation is about today, but what's best about the wholesale deals, and something you agree with, is it's done.
10 days, 30 days. I don't
Not
want,
looking at
I don't
a
worry about
turnover to make my next money, and maybe I'll do 10 upsells and make the same as I would two
Yeah.
deals in a
but
year.
what you can do,
I just
Carrie,
have to weigh it.
but Carrie, to finish the conversation about the wholesale versus the JV, I also sold 2 deals. I made 5K piece. Follow up, see what they actually sold for, see what they actually put in for it, and see how much money they actually made. Then you can make a decision moving forward. Because does it take you 4 months to make 25K? Maybe. But can you find 5 deals to make 25K in the same 4 months? That's the question. But what you can do, every time you wholesale deal, is just follow it. Just follow the numbers, follow that property, see what it sold for, see what they put in, and then you can make a decision on that based on what, if
I
you
have
more money.
sources that I can find the deals faster and things like that through some other businesses, so, yeah. I just like wholesale joint venture where I get part of the profit, I just give them the deal and make sure I'm.
You just run the numbers and see what makes the most sense for you. It's gonna be a personal decision, Karen. We can't make that
Oh,
decision.
no, I'm
It's
just
gonna be-
saying where I was just trying to make it work, or in my.
What's up,
mind.
Carlos? What's your
When
question?
you guys look at deals, basically, do you want to like present the whole comp package where you have everything there with repair estimator, everything, just kind of look at the whole thing, when it makes sense to you, then you go kind of check out the property to compare the repair estimate with your own, make sure it's on.
I always run my own comparables, but the repair estimate that you have is always good, and then I can compare it with my guys. Hopefully your guys are more expensive, so you have a 35K rehab one, I'm thinking it's only 28K. But Nick, what's your rule of thumb with my rehab cost?
Add like 20K to it.
Yes, whatever.
Add 20K to it?
Whatever my, like anytime I show them a deal, like, hey, this deal works, and you guys hit 20K in rehabs, like, it's a little tight.
So Melanie, what would be your criteria to look at if somebody in this group wanted a joint venture with you in some way? What would you look at?
I would always analyze the deal myself first, and then I would look at your numbers and see if I thought that you were on track, or anywhere closer if you were just way off. Because if you were way off, I probably don't want a partner.
Right. Yeah. And I think, just, again, just kind of step back, because we've been like very like specific, heavy on issues. But what do you think, actually, this is a great question. What was your worst JV experience? What is like, if you could go back to the first time you ever JV'd, or like that one JV where you're like, fuck, I wish I didn't get involved in that JV. Like, what did you learn now looking back? No, everybody's gonna go. Wait, we're gonna start here.
We have an exact same one.
Okay, so, okay, so you did a JV together. That's not good, by the way.
No, that's why we look at each other. We know which one that works.
So wait, okay, so that was your first one, and what? Like, let us know what happened.
There was a third partner involved, that's why.
Okay, so there was someone else that's not in the room that they can blame on your this, right? It's somebody else. Are they watching?
We're still,
It wasn't.
notice, we're still
Yeah, how long
friends.
ago was it?
And the third person is not here.
Okay, so how long ago was this?
How long ago was this?
2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
3 years.
It was
So
me.
LLC,
He was supposed to.
we was under my LLC, and the third person says, well, my accountant says it needs to be under my LLC.
Okay.
So, doing the handshake, okay, this is best for the community, let's just get the deal done.
Right.
And then that took a very nasty turn. I remember she was in Costa Rica, surfing with the dolphins.
Yeah, she was on vacation and there was, so they had a hard money lender involved, and how this hard money lender worked is we would pay all the construction costs and then reimburse us at the end, right?
Right.
So instead of those construction costs coming back to us and us getting our money back, because it was in her name, she had control of the deal. She said, well, that's my money.
Right, because I'm on title. Right. So it was a 50K rehab, and there's a big 25K check, or a 30K check that came back afterwards. Reimburses for the cabinets, reimburses for all the stuff that we did. She was in Costa Rica, surfing with the dolphins, saying, that money came back to me, I'm on title. That's my money.
I'm not dispersing the funds.
So we didn't get reimbursed for our costs.
So what was the problem with that? Was that a bad joint venture agreement? Was it
Very
not?
bad. Very bad.
It was,
It was a handshake deal instead of a
No.
black and white deal?
It was an agreement with us, which, almost a handshake, but in writing, we had it all in writing. We were good, and that's why we still, we went to NASCAR, we watched NASCAR together, I was like, yeah, I drank, way too much of that.
Poor Melanie, no, I had that same.
But, yeah, NASCAR, I've never watched, someone said, what race was it? I don't know. But, the issue was, and we learned a lot from it, I think she both.
How would you do it different then? So what would you change?
Well, first off, it'd be under my LLC or his own LLC. If we had any of those agreements, it would never be under anybody else's LLC. Whether you're producing funds or not, I gotta be able to control it.
Okay.
If I can't control it, then I can't be nice enough to give it, because I'm gonna give it. Look, I'm gonna split it, if we make money, we make money. I'm not gonna take those funds out of reimburse from a hard money loan and say, that's mine now. I know how that works, because I don't make money on the first deal, we make money on the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th deal together, you know what I mean? Like, it's not here for me to take it one time, and she took the one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She took the one time exit.
And it
Never
wasn't
worked with her
right.
again, but she took it.
So there was, I'm assuming, not this kind of
This did not exist.
And that's not.
We have a lot of.
That is the product of that deal.
What's your question?
Some tax time if it's in your LLC.
What's that?
What happens in tax time
Yeah.
if it's your LLC?
Well, you still do all the paperwork for the profits and stuff after.
1099s and.
Yeah, it gets dispersed through the line.
Yeah, you pay 1099 for whatever you put in, whatever you paid out.
Okay.
Another solution to that is that whatever entities are involved, you just put them all on title.
Okay.
And you designate somebody to handle the money.
Right. I don't know how to find it, but.
So they.
Oh, yeah. And the cherry on the cake, cherry on the Sunday, whatever the cherry.
Icing on the cake.
My father passed away, right before we listed the house. And then that's when, all the funds were coming in, when I was trying to bury my dad, do all that stuff. And then, remember that, it was just, it was just so chaotic, well, we're letting her, step on us, because she told us this stuff. It's the gentleman's handshake, okay, well, you put the title, we gotta work together. And then once she got the funds, she decided, no, I'm not working with anybody.
So lesson learned, you use that from now on.
Yeah, lesson learned is, so this allows us to lien the property, so we can even have a lien on the property, so we can cloud the title or anything like that if we wanted to.
Yeah.
So
At that point, you didn't have to.
and it was a vague JV agreement because Steph worked with her once before. She was a private lender, right?
She was a PML, and she went JV on that one. So.
Okay.
And so she wanted to get more involved, and Steph was like,
Gotcha.
yeah, let's do it. So he had a relationship with her already, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 2 deals before. So.
And I'm assuming that relationship doesn't exist
No,
anymore.
I wonder what she's doing now.
So Melanie, what about you? If you go back to your first joint venture agreement, whether it's real estate business related or whatever, what have you learned now that you wish you knew before your first joint venture?
What I learned was the importance of a personal guarantee.
Personal
The
guarantee.
business that I lent to went out of business, and the only way I was able to collect is because I had a personal guarantee, and it wasn't only with the husband who I was doing the deal with who owned the entity, but I got it on his wife, thankfully. And now I'm being able to garnish her wages, and I would have never gotten my money back.
Yeah. So that's a great lesson learned.
I just want to know, you're a wholesaler, you lend money.
Wait, we can network after we have time.
Okay, I'm just like,
I think, is there any more questions? Okay.
I did have a question, but I wanted them to finish.
It's okay, so ask your question because we've been like an hour, so this will be the last question and then we'll go into our networking and everybody can meet and chat and work on JVs. Hopefully you want to work on a JV after this. I don't know if we helped anyone ever want a JV.
I warned you, Marie, I warned you.
I know. But wait, so Pam has a question. What's your question?
So my question is, if we're not doing flips, are any of you interested in JV for buying homes?
For buying homes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
For
Awesome
question.
question.
If it's large enough, yes.
That's a good question.
Okay, large enough means
Big
what?
complex.
Is it a 4-plex, 8-plex?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm here. I'm
Because the
going
cash
to-
flow is all that matters.
Cash flow.
Cash flow.
Yeah.
Is it cash flowing and is it enough cash flow for everyone to
Well,
get?
the joint venture
Even if
is
it's
either going to
$50.
be a turnkey
Sure.
or it's going to be a tear down and build. So if you're doing a joint venture, are you interested in a buy and hold that obviously is not gonna have a return within, 6 months? It's going to be something that's going to be built
So,
up.
the question is,
So,
what do you want?
I want to finish, please. And so the second piece of that is this. If you are interested in that, what does that look like for you? So the doors that I'm looking to do are 8 to 20 doors. So these are small to mid-sized commercial multifamily properties.
All day long.
Yep.
All day long. If it takes me 2 years to get my money out because I did an 8 cap, 6 cap, 5 cap, whatever the number is, then let's make it work.
Okay.
Let's fix up the house, let's make it, or the units, let's remodel them, let's get them rolling, let's get them packed. So we can actually show rent rolls in 6 cap or so.
That's a preferred joint venture, by the way.
Yeah, that's what we look for.
Preferred, that's preferred, like a new term,
Yes,
preferred
look,
joint
the
venture.
numbers are a lot bigger.
Okay.
2
Yes,
years,
they are.
200K.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to ask that question.
Do you have a?
Well, network.
Afterwards, wondering.
What was your, I know you've done some and you're not up there, but real quick.
Hey, Neil, I heard you were the one who's supposed to be asking all the questions.
What was your worst joint venture experience and why?
And
Real
what's
quick.
it with Stefan?
Real quick.
Not with me.
Yeah, but he wasn't quick, but yeah, not Ari. Just call me Maria or something, it's fine. I get it all the time.
So, we initially started out joint venturing for more than 50% returns. It was emergency situations, short-term funding, and the money was turning. So, a whole bunch of those went really good, and then somebody died, there was cancer happened, and everything snowballed. So he filed bankruptcy, foreclosed on everything, we got one of the properties, but there was still a couple of them where we were second position, we couldn't control them, they didn't make sense, he didn't do anything with those properties, we didn't have those personal guarantees.
So, lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
Personal
I know his
guarantee.
first name. I'm not gonna say the last name for everybody else. Start with Leonard.
All right. Stop. I'm gonna go stop the Facebook Live, or Austin, please stop. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Facebook family. Now we're gonna get personal.